the share price of A2 Milk has just had a massive 25% drop over the past couple of days. Now, in this video, we'll take a look at the A2 Milk stock and see what happened there and whether or not this is a good buying opportunity for you. Hi everyone, my name is Henk, and on this channel we'll be talking about money and personal finance. Follow me on Facebook, where I post interesting news and articles that I find, and follow me on Instagram if you want some quick stock market updates. Now, first of all, who exactly is A2 Milk? So A2 Milk is a company that produces milk and infant formulas that are free of the A1 protein, but instead contain the A2 protein, hence their name, the A2 Milk Company. Now, as of today, A2 Milk is the second most valuable company in New Zealand on the New Zealand Exchange, behind Fisher & Paykel Healthcare. Now, it might be kind of strange to you that you may not see many products by the second most valuable company in New Zealand, within New Zealand. However, A2 Milk does have a huge presence in both Australia and China. So what exactly happened to the stock? Now, due to the disruptions brought by the disease and lockdowns in both Australia and New Zealand, A2 Milk released a statement in their most recent earnings report that they said that they expect their revenue from sales for the first half of 2021 to be between 725 million to 775 million. Now, this is down from 805 million from a year ago. However, they do expect sales to bounce back in the second half of the year for an annual revenue estimated between 1.8 billion to 1.9 billion, up from around 1.7 billion of the previous year. They stated that sales have been significantly affected by the disruption to the daigo channel due to the lockdowns and border issues. Now, this had significant effect on sales in December, and it is expected to continue to the first half of 2021. Now, what exactly is this daigo channel? If you have never heard of the daigo channel, I don't blame you. In fact, it is actually a billion-dollar industry in Australia. Now, daigo is essentially the Chinese term for getting someone else to buy something for you. So now, in Australia, many international students or recent immigrants became dedicated shoppers for the growing middle class in China. It's really no different from you asking a friend or relative overseas to buy some fancy local product and then ship it over to you. Except in this situation, you are paying a third-party person to do the buying and shipping for you. In this day and age where we can catch taxi rides with strangers, with Uber, and receive food delivered by strangers with Uber Eats, getting a stranger to do your purchases really isn't something that's all that surprising. It is estimated that there are more than 150,000 people doing this daigo business in Australia. And many people have quit their full-time jobs to pursue this career, since it can offer a great amount of flexibility in time. Infant formulas such as the ones sold by A2 Milk are especially popular because of the infant formula scandal in China back in 2008, which resulted in several thousands of sick infants in China. Now, after that, people have lost faith in their local products, and many of the Chinese middle class choose to purchase overseas products through someone else instead of buying locally. Some companies that heavily rely on daigo sales, such as A2 Milk, are known to have their share prices significantly affected by disruptions to these sales channels, which is exactly what happened in the situation. And do remember that this is a billion-dollar industry. A2 Milk have stated that the sales problem appeared to be just with the daigo channel because the demand for their products in China still remains strong. They also said that many of the Chinese customers that overbought the infant formula when there was the first outbreak of the disease are simply just using up their existing stock. Now you might be wondering, why don't these companies establish a direct channel to ship to China, and why get some random person to buy items for them? One of the main reasons is that the daigo sellers tries to establish a personal relationship with the shoppers, where they would answer questions and live stream the purchase of the products and or services through WeChat, the main communication app that's used in China, and make it into a interactive event. There may be up to thousands of people watching these streaming sessions, and all in all, it's just a great way of marketing the product. So what does all of this actually mean? Now, here's a few key factors that may affect the future share price of A2 Milk. Now, number one is, how likely are the lockdowns going to continue in Australia and New Zealand? This is a difficult question to answer, but certainly not indefinitely. Now, it is simply impossible for lockdowns to go on continuously over a long extended period of time. Things will eventually slowly go back to normal once the restrictions have been lifted, and the daigo distribution channel will slowly come back again as well. Secondly is, how is the company doing financially? So in order to find this out, we need to look at the statistics of the company. So looking at the statistics, A2 Milk still has an impressive 40% return on equity, with a healthy amount of current assets versus their current liability, which makes it a very healthy company financially. And it is still estimated to grow at more than 20% over the next 5 years. In fact, just in August, A2 Milk has recorded a record annual profit of more than $385 million. Now, if we go and take a look at the charts for A2 Milk, there is significant buying support at the psychological price level of $15, with the market testing that level multiple times in the past. Now, if the price breaks below the $15 level, we could potentially see a significant amount of selling, but that has not happened at the moment. If we bounce off the $15 price level, we could see a potential short-term uptrend for the share price again. Personally, I see this as a bit of an overreaction by the market. Yes, it is absolutely true that the short-term profit of the company will be affected, but fundamentally, the business has not really changed. There's still demand for the product, only the distribution channel has been affected. Now, if the demand is still there, people will continue to find ways to obtain the product. So overall, I am still bullish on the A2 Milk stock over the long term. Leave a comment below to say whether you agree or disagree, and I'll see you in the next video.